Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Home DIY with your host Josh. So today I'm going to show you guys on how to replace an electrical breaker. Simple, easy, and safe. I'm going to show you guys on how to do it where you guys are saving a lot of money. The electrical contractors I used to work for, they would charge between $200 and about $300 for this one breaker that I'm going to show you guys on how to do. I bought it for 10 bucks at Home Depot. So hope you guys liked the video. All right guys, so I'm going to show you guys on how to replace the breaker. This one right here is the troublemaker in this panel right now. I start this by removing the dead front. See all the breakers, you see all the wires. So remember, it is this one right here. Or before I do it, I usually count the breakers, whatever one's closest, and then go from there. So this one right here, we're going to replace with this one right here. This is a 20 amp breaker. This one that we're taking out is a 15. The way that the customer explained it to me is that it continuously trips on him when he had too many things on at the same time. I'm gonna go ahead and bump this up, like I said, up to a 20 amp. The wire that's going to this breaker, it is a 12 gauge, so you don't have to worry too much about that. Before I get too far into this, the size of wire defines the maximum of amperage that it can handle. So a 14 gauge wire can handle 15 amps. 12 gauge wire can handle a 20. 10 gauge wire can handle a 30. Flip this off already. You do not have to turn the power off to this panel because you're not going to touch anything back here. You're not going to touch anything behind the breaker until you pull the breaker out. Once you flip this off, this breaker right here is dead. Depending on the age of your panel, sometimes you can put your finger right here and it'll pop out. Other times you can use a screwdriver. So you're going to want to just put your screwdriver just right there, just right on the inside, and it's going to pop out like so. Then pull it off, and there you go. That's how you do it right there. I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna pull this wire here from the breaker. You guys see the brass screw? I'm gonna go ahead, put the screwdriver in it here, and I'm going to pull it out. Now note, the screwdriver that I'm using is a insulated screwdriver. It was just, you know, something quick, handy, and simple that I had on me. You can use a regular screwdriver like this. I'm gonna say this now. Do not, and I mean do not, if you're going to do any type of electrical work whatsoever, do not grab metal. You grab metal while you're doing this and you're going to get shocked and you will get hurt. Do not ever do that. Now the breaker's out. Like I said, we're going to be putting in this 20 right here. So I'm gonna show you guys a little bit what's going on with this breaker, or in this panel right now. So this little bar right there, that right there is where the power is coming in and hitting the breaker. This little piece right here is what's stabilizing the breaker in the panel. That bar right there is what's going to be held in right here. This little piece of metal back here is going to be held in by this right there. So obviously all the breakers are going to come to you either in the trip position, which is going to be right here in the middle, you know, in between on and off. That means that it has passed the manufacturer inspection for it. You're going to get it in the trip position, which is a good thing. That means that it will trip. These older breakers, if you have any electrical issues with the breakers, sometimes they'll trip. Like this one right here has a little glass in it, and if it was to trip, you would either see a red, like a little red ribbon, or a red color or orange color right there. That would identify right there. That would identify that this breaker is tripped. Which all you have to do then is flip it off and flip it right back on, and done deal. There are times where these older breakers where you lose power and you come out here and they will not be tripped. I've had this happen so many times. Grab it right here and you do your little jiggle. It moves very easily, like you know, if you can move it and it doesn't, and you got like some tension, that means it's a good one. If it flips very easily, that means that breaker has had a malfunction and you need to replace it ASAP. If it was to be stuck in the on position and trip, and it will not be in the middle like how it's supposed to, you could possibly still use it, but it's going to do the same thing, and you don't know if it's going to happen 5 seconds after you flip it back on. And it could, I mean, there's a possibility it could last 5-6 years, but then from there it will mess with your panel if you leave it in there, and it will cause arcs and sparks and burn your panel. And then you're gonna have no other choice but to pay an electrical contractor probably about $1,500 up to about $8,000 and putting in a brand new panel. You don't want that. If you guys can see the little orange piece right there, that's what I was talking about. If it gets into the trip position, you will definitely see that right here, the whole entire thing. And again, if you see it in the trip position, all you have to do is flip it off, all the way off, and then flip it right back on. I've seen guys where it's flipped, where it's tripped, and they'll just say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and flip it on. It will not work. It will not reset. It won't do anything. So we're gonna go ahead and put the wire back in. Now, if you guys can see right here, you got a little bit of a groove or a little bit of a hump in there with the wire connections. You do not want to back this screw out any more than what you need to get the old wire out, and you definitely don't want to back it out at all, because you will be struggling putting that one screw back in. I cannot tell you on how many times I've done it. I cannot tell you on how many times I've seen apprentices, journeymen, electrical contractors. I've even seen my big boss come out and say, Josh, move it out of the way. I'm gonna do this right now, and back the screw out and be messing with it for hours. Save you guys some time. Do not back this screw out any more than what you have to. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this screw in just like so, and I'm gonna twist this thing in. And one other little point, I've done so many panels. Cole inspector come out. He's the one that passes everything before major work. This isn't considered major work. This is just considered maintenance. If you don't get the wire set in those grooves right, he will automatically fail this 100%. So make sure you guys get that in there. Now all you gotta do is, like I said, do it kind of in reverse. You want to push that in the back first, and then push it forward like so. And that breaker is now on. And now that screw, now everything going through this breaker now has power. Breakers are going to trip for several different reasons. One of them is age, 2 is going to be a malfunction, 3 is going to be maintenance on it, which I'm going to do a quick little video on probably soon. And the biggest one of all is when you get somebody that don't know what they're doing in this panel, and they're like, hey, you know what, I'm just going to shove this thing in here and mess with it. I cannot explain to you guys on how important these panel works actually are. These are like the most important thing to learn and to have in your house at all times. If you know on how to replace the breaker, you just saved yourself a lot of money. Customer wise, this breaker, I bought this breaker from Home Depot for, I believe it was $10. Electrical contractors, they will charge you triple that, so it's going to be probably about $36 to $50 for that one breaker, and then plus the time to put it in. And they're not going to skimp it. They're going to say a minimum of 1 hour, between $80 to about $150 an hour. So basically, you guys just saved yourselves, like I said, about $250, about $250, $300 just going out, spending $10 doing this and watching this video. All right, guys, so I hope you guys liked the video. Make sure you guys thumbs up this video. I definitely need the likes, need those comments, guys. Come on, I like doing panel work. I know there's so many videos out there that are like, what am I supposed to do with my electrical panel? What am I supposed to do when my breaker's out? How am I supposed to do this? I showed you guys on how easy and simple it is, and cheap, not complicated. It really is not. It is the easiest. So again, make sure you guys thumbs up this video, comment, Come on, guys, leave me a comment. Let me know something. Say, hey, Josh, how you doing? Give me a thumbs up. Give me something. I don't care if you guys give me a smiley emoji. I don't care. Just jump in those comments for me, guys. Subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna be doing a lot more work around here. This customer has been doing a lot, and I'm gonna take you guys with me through the whole entire thing. So next time, guys, see ya.